It's going to go for Flamethrower with +1 special attack on a tar-shotted Heracross. That's it. Down goes Heracross. Lucario is your first MetroMania Season 12 finalist. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of MetroMania. In case you missed the last episode, the first of our Season 12 finalists was confirmed as Lucario took down Heracross in what was a fantastic semi-final, so go back and watch it. But of course, Lucario is going to need an opponent in the final, which will come next week. But let's find out who that opponent is as Scizor takes on Arcanine. So here we go, the MetroMania Season 12 semi-final, the second of our semi-finals, Scizor versus Arcanine. One of these Pokemon teams is going to go through to the final to face Lucario for the Season 12 Championship. We see the Intimidate coming off from the regular Arcanine there, lowering the attack of both Scizor by 1 stage apiece to start things off. And here is Shiny Arcanine with the first move, Floral Healing. That's going to fail. That's good for the Arcanine team that failed, because that's a risky play right there. And regular Arcanine with Magma Storm from the get-go. Scizor's only weakness. Shiny Scizor goes down on turn 1. It is out of here. And now it's just 1 Scizor versus 2 Arcanine. This is the big worry that the Scizor team have right now. A regular Scizor is going to go for Fiery Dance. Fire-type moves are not going to do a lot of damage to the Arcanine team. This is Scizor's big worry. Scizor only has 1 weakness, but it is a 4 times weakness. And it just so happens, hit subscribe, turn on all notifications and all that jazz. It just so happens that 4 times weakness is also a type that Arcanine gets same type attack bonus from. It is a nightmare scenario if fire type moves come up from the Arcanine team for the Scizor team. Acrobatics dealing a little bit of chip damage there to the Scizor, and now Steel Wing going to be resisted by Scizor from Shiny Arcanine there. Now it's Scizor's opportunity, although the defense goes up 1 stage of the Shiny Arcanine there. Keep that in mind for later. And now Scizor goes for a Heat Wave. It's locked into fire-type moves. It's been completely... What's the word? It's become incensed by these fire-type moves and now trying to use them itself. It really needs to use something that's maybe more super effective against the Arcanine team. Here's Shiny Arcanine, though, who's ready and raring to go with Headbutt. Going to deal some not very effective damage, but at this point, it's kind of... The writing's kind of on the wall for Scizor at the moment. It's nearly at half its max HP, and it's against 2 bruising Pokemon. Here's a not very effective Avalanche from regular Arcanine there. Not enough to bring Scizor down past the halfway point, but still enough to probably shake the confidence of this Scizor a little bit. Scizor goes for first impression. It's not the first turn, so that has failed. So Scizor in a really difficult position here. I think a lot of people would agree with me in thinking, I don't know where Scizor goes from here. I don't know what Scizor's going to do. And Parting Shot is going to put it down by another stage of attack and 1 stage of special attack. So this Scizor is now at -1 special attack and -2 physical attack. It's really had the wind taken out of its sails. And now it's going to be at -2 defense after that screech from Shiny Arcanine. My word, this Scizor is having a terrible time right now. This is really one-sided at the moment. We see extra sensory from Scizor, and that's going to land on the regular Arcanine. Barely touched the surface. Did you even see the HP bar move there? That was tragic. This Scizor is in a bad way right now. Really, it needs some one-hit KO moves, like a Horn Drill or a Sheer Cold or something. Here's Morning Sun from Shiny Arcanine. Going to restore back the little bit of HP that it's lost there. Back up to maximum. Just taunting Scizor right there. And now we have a regular Arcanine who's ready with its metronome with Core Enforcer. Shades of Zygarde right there. Going to be resisted by Scizor, but it's also going to suppress the ability of Scizor at the same time, I believe. No, does Core Enforcer not do that? I don't even know at this point. I'm sure it does. Confusion, though, from Scizor onto the Shiny Arcanine there for a tiny little bit of damage, but does land the Confusion. Look, finally, a stroke of luck for Scizor there. The Confusion actually taking effect. Will Arcanine just ignore it, though? I guess we'll find out. Shiny Arcanine gets itself ready, hits itself in Confusion. There we go. There's an opening for Scizor if ever there was one. And now the regular Arcanine is going to go for Air Cutter, which is going to do neutral damage to Scizor there. Puts it in the danger zone, so Scizor is not long for this round. And now Scizor fires back with Phantom Force, so it's going to vanish instantly, avoiding any moves that the Arcanine team may throw at it. And that will give it an opportunity just to land a blow, I suppose. I mean, it's at -2 attack, so it's not going to do a great deal. But any damage is better than no damage at this point, I imagine. So there's the ally switch. So Arcanine going to swap places with its shiny counterpart. How is that going to play out in this battle? I don't know. It's going to do much of anything, is it really? And now the confusion. Shiny Arcanine is going to ignore the confusion this time. And is going to go for a crunch, but unfortunately, no Scizor there to hit. Here comes the Phantom Force onto the regular Arcanine, barely chipping away. It's really, Scizor's really not been able to scratch the surface here on the Arcanine team. And now we have the regular Arcanine ready with the Metronome and going to go for Crab Hammer, Kingdra's signature move, and down goes Scizor. So it's time to hear from our sponsors.
Oh my god, can you believe it? I am here to talk to you about G Fuel! G Fuel is an energy formula with 0 sugar and barely any calories and a whole heap of wonderful flavors such as Mega Potion. It is my favorite flavor after Nemesis Tea and I am drinking it right now! Ah yes, that was very refreshing, and I now feel energized. Please use code ACE to save 10% off G Fuel. No, but seriously, do. It's banging. I love G Fuel. G Fuel love you. That's why they give you 10% off with code ACE. Go do it. Use code ACE right now. Just remember, G Fuel is for over 18s only because it contains caffeine, and because it contains caffeine, drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead, dickhead.
And here we are with round 2. Scizor is on the back foot right now. 0-1. Arcanine's sitting pretty. All it has to do is win this round, and it's through to the finals to face Lucario. There's the Intimidate taking effect. If Scizor wants to stay in this competition, or at least wants a chance to stay in this competition, it has to win 2 rounds back-to-back. Good luck, Scizor, is all I can say, because Arcanine has already shown if it gets a Fire-type move, it's all over. Goes for Spatial Rend as Arcanine start things off, but it is avoided. And now Shiny Arcanine follows up with Spite. It's going to fail. Move's not been used yet, mate. And now we see Draco Meteor from Shiny Scizor. Risky play there. It's a high-powered Dragon-type special attack, but it will lower the special attack of Scizor, which is already low enough. That's why that Draco didn't do much damage, by 2 stages. So Shiny Scizor needs to not use any special attacks going forward. Regular Scizor, though, is going to go for Pluck and eat the held berry of the opposing Shiny Arcanine there. So if it does, if it does manage to survive long enough until Shiny Arcanine runs out of PP, haha, PP, very funny, then now no Leopard Berry to save it, so it may get stuck in struggle territory. Here's Shiny Arcanine, though, starting off turn 2, and it's going to go for Milk Drink and restore its HP back up to maximum. Bit early for breaking out those kinds of moves, but sure, you do what you need to do, mate. So back up to full is Shiny Arcanine, and now we have the regular Arcanine looking to use a move of its own. It's going to go for Bug Bite. Well, turnabout is fair play. It's going to do not very effective damage, but eat the berry of the Shiny Scizor there. So for all intents and purposes, the teams are very much even right now. What is Scizor going to do at the start of this turn? It needs to do something drastic. It's going to go for Arm Thrust, which is a multi-hit move. Let's see how many hits it gets. It gets 1 hit, barely any damage. It gets 2 hits, barely any damage. And just the 2 hits. That's an unfortunate attempt at an Arm Thrust there. And now we have Shiny Scizor, who's going to go for Night Slash, which has a chance to land a critical hit. It's a Dark-type move, so it's neutral. Big damage. Yep, that's the critical hit. Well done. Getting the critical hit, but also Dark-type move on Justified Shiny Arcanine means that it's speed or its attack increase? Its attack increases, doesn't it? It was literally just on screen, but I was too busy looking at the word Justified on the screen because that's what I do sometimes. And now we have Iron Head, not very effective, from the regular Arcanine there onto the regular Scizor for a bit of chip damage. And now Shiny Arcanine is looking to follow up, and it's going to go for Jaw Lock, which is a Dark-type move onto the regular Scizor there, putting it down to less than half its max HP. That was a big hit right there. Of course, the Pokemon now can't run away, either of those Pokemon, but they can't run away anyway. Here's the Haze, though, restoring Shiny Scizor's special attack stat back to normal, and most importantly, the attack stat of both the Scizor is now back to normal. Here's a Brick Break from Scizor. Decent chunk of damage there, bringing regular Arcanine down to less than half its max HP. And now things are looking very, very even in this round compared to the previous round where that Magma Storm on turn 1 really ruined the Scizor team. Regular Arcanine, so Shiny Arcanine goes for a Draco Meteor of its own. It's going to be resisted, but is going to lower Arcanine's special attack by 2 stages. And of course, post-Haze, that means that that's the only Pokemon with lowered stats right now. So over to regular Arcanine, what will it do? In response to that, it's going to go for Metal Claw. That is going to be resisted. Has a chance to raise attack by 1 stage, but doesn't get it. But does put that regular Scizor in the danger zone. The Scizor team's got to be careful. Shiny Scizor commits itself to Thrash attack, but does big damage now that it's not hindered with its attack being lowered. Puts Shiny Arcanine in the danger zone. Regular Scizor follows up with Pain Split, onto which, oh, that would have been a great choice if you'd used it on the regular Arcanine, but barely any difference to the HP against the Shiny Arcanine, so that was a bit of a wasted turn. Now it's over to Shiny Arcanine, and it's going to go for Gust, which is neutral damage onto which Scizor there? Onto the regular Scizor. It's not enough to take it out. It's still sitting in the danger zone. And now regular Arcanine goes for Play Nice, looking to lower the attack stat of the Shiny Scizor there. It's recognized the threat that is a Scizor locked into Thrash. So down goes its attack by 1 stage. It's going to go for the Thrash again and take out the Shiny Arcanine. So now there's just 1 Arcanine, 2 Scizor, but 1 Scizor is at very low health. The Thrash has ended, lucky for Arcanine. And of course, that means Shiny Scizor is confused going forward. Regular Scizor, though, is going to go for Poison Fang, maybe hoping to whittle down Arcanine with a bit of poison damage. There's the Poison Fang. Puts Arcanine in the danger zone, but does not poison it, which is very lucky for Arcanine. It's still very much in this competition. It's getting ready with the Metronome. It needs to do something to one of these Scizor. Goes for double kick onto which Scizor there? Onto the regular. Gets the 1 hit, and down goes Scizor. Didn't even need the second kick there. So now it's just Shiny Scizor and regular Arcanine. If Shiny Scizor can pull this off, it will go through to the 3rd round with a chance to face Lucario in the final. Goes for Ancient Power. Is this going to be it, actually? It is enough, so we are going to a 3rd round. One of these teams will face Lucario in the final, but who's it going to be? It's anybody's guess right now because it's 1 apiece. Arcanine and Scizor, sudden death for a place in the final. The Intimidate, of course, pops off at the start from the regular Arcanine, which is going to lower the attack stat of these Scizor by 1 stage apiece. What are they going to do? What are either of these teams going to do? The Arcanine team really needs a Fire-type miracle, I reckon. We got regular Arcanine with the Dig, which is going to do neutral damage to whichever of the Scizor it lands on, but also protects Arcanine this turn. Maybe they won't need a miracle. Maybe it's the Scizor team that needs a miracle. I mean, the Scizor team need to hope no Fire-type moves happen. Boom Burst, whilst your opponent's underground, is a great idea. Not very effective damage to either of the Scizor, but you do avoid damaging your partner Pokemon who is under the ground, so that was a great choice to use Boom Burst then. Regular Scizor goes for Aqua Jet. It's avoided by Arcanine, who's under the ground, but that would have been very bad for Arcanine. We have Poison Gas, which is going to be avoided by the Arcanine that's underground, but is going to land on the Shiny Arcanine there. So Shiny Arcanine is on a timer. It is poisoned and will take poison damage at the end of each turn, as we see right there. So this very much... the Scizor team are very much in the driver's seat here at the moment. We have 1 Arcanine underground, but 1 is already poisoned. Shiny Arcanine going to start off the next turn and go for Recover, which is a bit of a waste. You've not lost a lot of HP yet, so using Recover was a bit of a silly idea. But you do what you feel is right, so back up to max HP. And now here's the Dig from regular Arcanine. Decent chunk of damage there. Probably would have hoped for a bit more than that, but... regular Scizor is getting close to the halfway point of its HP. We see Attack Order, not very effective, but same type attack bonus behind it. From Shiny Scizor, still did decent damage there. Critical hit. And the fact that it's a -1 attack as well. Although, is it a special move or a physical move? I don't know. Let me know about Attack Order. Although, Heal Pulse, there's a mistake by regular Scizor, just healed Shiny Arcanine back up to max HP. That's got to be absolutely gutting for supporters of the Scizor team there. That was a big mistake, completely negating the damage done by that attack order. Here's the Shiny Arcanine, who's going to go for Pin Missile, which will be resisted by the regular Scizor there. But the Arcanine do seem to be focusing their efforts on the regular Scizor there, maybe hoping take 1 out and then the team basically folds. 3 hits from the Pin Missile puts regular Scizor down to less than half its max HP, and now we have Air Cutter, which will do neutral damage to both Scizor from the regular Arcanine there. Decent hits on them both. Over to the Scizor team to see what they can muster here. Regular Scizor goes for Psych Up, going to copy the stat changes of one of its opponents of Shiny Arcanine. Did Shiny Arcanine have any stat changes at the moment? Answers on a postcard. Here's a stomp from Shiny Scizor, though, onto regular Arcanine for a decent chunk of damage there, and there's the poison damage taking effect on Shiny Arcanine, slowly whittling away. But the Arcanine team are definitely in a good position right now. I thought the Scizor team were in the driver's seat, but regular Scizor lost a lot of HP that turn. Regular Arcanine, though, is here and ready with Fake Out. That's going to fail because it's already taken an action in this battle. So it's over to Shiny Arcanine, who's going to go for Cross Chop, which will do neutral damage. Big chunk of damage to Shiny Scizor there. Shiny Scizor in a little bit of trouble here. What will it do in response? Going to go for Fake Tears. That's an interesting play right there. So it's going to go for Fake Tears onto the regular Arcanine there. Lower its special defense harshly. I mean, Scizor doesn't have great special attack, so it probably doesn't need to be using special attacks, but hey, here's one, because Swift is a special attack. Going to hit both Arcanine there. Probably, I guess it's not bad to lower your opponent's special defense, but I think physical defense would have been better. Shiny Arcanine slowly being worn away by that poison damage at the end of each turn, though. Regular Arcanine will start the next turn off with Smog Attack. Doesn't affect the Scizor team, so over to the Shiny Arcanine, see if it can do something in response. It's going to go for Sleep Powder. That's going to be avoided by regular Scizor, so a completely wasted turn, which is a complete opportunity for the Scizor team. We get a Fire Punch. That's not going to be very effective. Bit of a waste there. But it does bring Shiny Arcanine down into the yellow, past the halfway point of its health. And now Shiny Scizor goes for Bulldoze, which is going to be super effective on both Arcanine there, although did do a good chunk of damage there to regular Scizor as well, and does drop the speed of each of the Pokemon it hit there. So Shiny Arcanine in the danger zone and poisoned, and there's the poison damage. Shiny Arcanine in a dangerous position right now. It's going to be interesting to see where all the where the speed priority lands right now. So Shiny Scizor is now the fastest thing on the field because of that Bulldoze, and it's going to go for Storm Throw onto which of the Arcanine? Onto the Shiny. I'd have gone for the regular, to be honest. Shiny Arcanine down after that Storm Throw. Of course, it always lands a critical hit, so we're not impressed by that. But I'd have gone for the regular Arcanine, because Shiny Arcanine would have fallen to the poison this turn, probably. Here's Discharge, though, from regular Arcanine onto both the Scizor there. It's not enough to knock out the Scizor, but does paralyze both of the Scizor. Oh, my word. Both Scizor paralyzed right now. Regular Scizor ignores the paralysis, though, and is going to go for Frenzy Plant. How much damage is that not very effective move going to do to this Arcanine? It does a great chunk of damage and puts Arcanine in the danger zone. And what about Shiny Scizor at the start of the next turn? Although it won't be starting the next turn now. I think Arcanine is now the fastest thing on the field. Yep, it's Arcanine. Beautiful. So Arcanine is now the fastest thing going. Gonna go for Dragon Breath onto which Scizor here? It looks like regular Scizor. Is that enough to take it down? It's not very effective, but does take down regular Scizor. It's down to just Shiny Scizor, regular Arcanine. Shiny Scizor is paralyzed and cannot move. Arcanine has an opportunity right now to end this and take itself through to the finals to face Lucario. What move is it going to use? It's going to use Block, which is completely pointless in Metronome battles, so well done. Well, in MetroMania battles at least. And now Shiny Scizor has an opportunity. It's ignored the paralysis, and it's going to go for Tail Slap. Is this going to be the most underwhelming victory in the world? We get one hit. We get 2 hits. 3 hits, and it's over. Arcanine is down. Scizor is going through to the finals to face Lucario. We're getting a Steel versus Steel final. Steel and Bug, Steel and Fighting. That's going to be amazing. Don't forget to tune in next week. Look at how we got to the final. Next week, it's Lucario and Scizor for the Season 12 Championship.
So that'll do it for this episode of Metromania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Share this video with a friend. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrainerLiam for all of my live streams and use code ACE for money off G Fuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.